Hi my friends, and this is our math extension activity. So we are going to be doing a simple graphing activity, and what that means is we will have two colors of mittens. I have some green mittens and some red mittens. And we are going to build a graph using, oh boy, I'm going to knock over my fish here. Here we go. I'm going to push him over. We are going to build a graph using this board here. I also have some numbers here. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to put the numbers 1 to 5 starting from the bottom and going up onto our graph. Okay, so you can count with me as I place those numbers. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So when we make a graph, we have the numbers starting from the lowest number to the highest number going up the side. And these two columns are where we are going to put the items that we're counting and comparing. So in this case, we have red mittens and green mittens. So this row will be for green mittens, and they will go all the way up. And this row will be for red mittens, and they will go all the way up, depending on what number we have. So I am going to use a die, and we are going to count how many mittens of each color that we should put on the graph. And then I'm going to get my friends to tell me which color has more by looking at the graph. Okay, here we go. Roll it. This is for the green mittens. 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to make sure there are 3 green mittens on my graph. 1, 2, 3 green mittens. Now I'm going to roll for the red mittens. Here we go. Ooh, 1, 2. So I'm going to make sure that there are 2 red mittens on my graph. I'm just going to pull our graph closer here. Okay, so if we look here, we have 3 green mittens because the green mitten is right beside the number 3. And if we count from the bottom up, we can count 1, 2, 3. And how many red mittens do we have? That's right, there's 2. Did you get that by counting the red mittens or by looking at which number they're with on the graph? Oh, those are both very good strategies, so either one would be great. Now I'm going to ask you, there's my picture, which color mitten has more, the green mittens or the red ones? Did you say the green mittens? That is right. There are more green mittens than there are red mittens. Very good. Okay, now we're going to try something a little bit different. I'm going to set up the graph, and then you're going to answer some questions about it. Okay, so here we go. Okay. How many red mittens are there on my graph? How many red mittens? Did you guess 5? Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's right. And how many green mittens are there? Did you guess 1? Very good. Now I'm going to ask you, which color mitten has less? Which color mitten has less? The smaller amount. Did you say the green one? That would be right. The green one has less than the red one because the number is smaller. The green only has 1 mitten and the red has 5 mittens. You can see that the stack is taller and there are more of them. Very good. Okay, I have one more. By looking at this graph, which color mitten has more? Which color mitten has more? You're right. Neither of them has more because they're both the same. How many mittens of each color do you see? Of each color. How many green and how many red? We can look at the graph. Stop where the mittens stop and look at that number. There are 3 green and 3 red. Let's count. 1, 2, 3 red. 1, 2, 3 green. All right, now I have one extra challenge. How many mittens are all together? In the whole graph, how many mittens are there? What do you think we have to do to answer that question? That's right. We add the red and the green together. We can do 3 plus 3, or we can count them all. Why don't we try counting them all? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are 6 mittens all together. So if I was making this graph and I was asking my friends, do you have red mittens or green mittens? And every time I got an answer, I put a mitten on my graph. One friend has a red mitten, another friend has a red mitten, another friend has a red mitten, one friend has a green mitten, one friend has a green mitten, and another friend has a green mitten. That means that I asked 6 friends all together. 6 friends all together. That's how many people I asked to make this graph. All right, my friends, you can try asking your family at home which color mitten they would like the best. Would they like a red one or a green one? And you can try making a graph about that question. And that is a little extra challenge for you for this week.